Upon further review, the ruling on the field stands. This is the greatest sports podcast, First and Goat.
Welcome back, beautiful people, to another episode of First and Goat. We don't need an introduction. What's today's date? Just October 19th, a couple of fucking weeks before Halloween. But today, I mean, fuck, I was gonna add something to in the morning. I totally fucked up. But hey, I'll save it for next week. So, to not make matters worse, I'm gonna hand it off to Luis. So, you got it, baby. Take it away.
All right, sounds good. So this week we're just gonna dive right into it. Last week we were talking about in our new segments we're trying to discuss greatest of all time. So and then we had touch base. We said, hey, you know what? We always talk NBA. Let's try to mix it up a little bit. So unfortunately, this is NBA again. So maybe next week we'll start a new trend. But
Jesus.
Keeping it with NBA, I just wanted to see if we could do a top 10 greatest of all time ringless players. So players that have never obviously won a championship ring. You know, off the top of my head, when I was thinking about the question, guys, I'm like, oh, that'll be cool, but I'll be curious to see who you put. The list is very small, like of I think great players. You know, so I'm curious to see, you know, who you guys got, and why don't we just do it this way, like how we did last time? We won't rank them right now. You know, like number 10 is this and number 1 is this. Just this. We'll start with Adon, and Adon will name one, and we could kind of, you know, talk about that a little bit, and then go to Sal and so on. Cool?
Okay, got it.
So why don't we start with you, Adon? Who would you start us off with?
I have a list of like 20-something players that I came up with. Yeah. But I circle what I think are top 10, but obviously there's some we're not gonna agree on. But I got plenty of names to throw out there. I think one that we could all agree on is Karl Malone. I think reached the finals twice.
Another rapist, Jesus Christ.
Michael Jordan and Scotty. What's up?
Another rapist, god damn it.
I don't think he's a rapist. I think he's a child predator.
Molester,
yeah. He raped someone underage. I think they can't give consent, so.
Oh, yeah. I mean, overall, yeah.
I'm sorry, off topic. I'm sorry.
So Don, continue making a case.
Now I feel bad for fucking naming this asshole, dude. Like, good. I'm glad he didn't win, fucking bitch.
Me too. I was a fan of this motherfucker. I swear to God, I was until this shit came out. I know he was a prick. I thought it was a locker room, and then I heard other stories. But this is pre-internet, so you know who knows what the fuck's going up. And then, but you know what I'm talking about, right? We don't gotta go into depth.
Yeah, he was going out with like a 14.
That was hard. I mean, I don't know. I guess he's still a great player. You want to put all that shit aside?
That fucking Alabama, dude. Fucking Alabama.
Yeah. So okay, so
it got really uncomfortable.
But I guess that's the hard part with Karl Malone. You know, it's hard to separate. You know, all the stuff, all the allegations. Maybe not even allegations. I think a lot of it is
proven.
It's true, but I guess it's hard to separate one or the other. But I mean, in terms of just on the court, to keep the show moving. Sal, what do you think? You give them thumbs up, thumbs down in that list?
I think we're going based on player and what he did on the court. I mean, as I can't really deny his performance and what he did throughout his career. You know, at the time he was a badass power forward. Yeah, in hindsight now, but you compare it to now, like, he wasn't that talented. You know what I'm saying? He was a big brute strength, you know, power, dirty player. I don't know, maybe.
Yeah,
can we put him on the one on the list? Put him in. He's probably gonna make the list, but can we put him on the?
Really?
Is he kind of getting the?
You want to put Karl Malone on a bubble? Like,
all right, let's put him on the list right now.
He's a third.
But we get a tiebreaker. We're gonna go between a rapist and non-rapist, and fucking the non-rapist probably gonna get it.
Yeah, okay. I guess we'll put it in the
I guess. I mean, I was so like he was on my list, and then but that's terrible on me. I'm like, well, I hope nobody mentions but that's how we started off, So it's hard to ignore that. And I the same thing, but statistically, I mean, he's up there, right, for all time scoring, right, number whatever it is.
No,
Wasn't he
he's
number
third.
2 forever? Third,
He's
because of
third now,
LeBron,
but-
he got. For the longest, he was like number 2, right? Like he had jumped everybody, and he just couldn't get ahead of number 1.
He's still considered like top 3 power forward, right? Like
Yeah, in on the court, yeah. So just a little controversial.
Well, here's the thing.
Figure.
I thought I have like 20 something names.
Yeah,
and most of them don't have MVPs. Like he's probably one of
yeah. How many does he have?
3
Two
of them.
MVPs.
I think he's got 2, and he made the
Two
finals
MVPs.
twice. He just fucking got he outmatched by Jordan and Pippen. But all these a bunch of these other names, none of them have MVPs, or maybe
Yeah, I
like
mean-
3
I
or 4
agree.
of them. So like it's hard to argue that he's not one of the. Well, let's see what else we come up
Four-time
with.
All-Star, 11-time first team All-NBA.
Is he in
Put
the
him in.
Hall of Fame?
Oh yeah, I think him and Stockton.
Yeah, yeah. So it's kind of hard. I mean, just ugh.
Well, we'll put him in the
Damn.
bubble, but let's see if you could come up with somebody that's got better
Just
NBA career,
MVP.
accomplishments.
And I don't know. Look at the points. 10 gold medalist. Just the only thing he doesn't have is a championship.
Exactly.
Oh, he dropped in the end.
I thought he was gonna slam dunk just picking this guy with the first. All right, bubble, let's go.
No, not Boogie.
All right.
All right.
He's in
What
there.
about you, Sal?
We'll put him in there.
Wait, he's in there, Sal, so I can number him.
Yeah, put him in there.
Yeah, we gotta put him in there.
All right.
Damn, Moreau just fucking dropped the pass. Could have fucking tied up the game right now. Okay, so next on the list, I think we're gonna go with our boy Charles Barkley.
Mhm.
I think as a power forward, Karl Malone put up better numbers, but I mean he had the physique, the body. This guy was only 1-time league MVP, but in 11-time All-Star, first time. What was it? I think 5-time first All NBA. What impresses me mostly about Barkley is that he was like an undersized player at his position. I think they listed him at 6'6", but he was not 6'6". Remember standing next to Jordan? I think that guy was like 6'4". So it was impressive what he did. I looked up there was a peak. There was a 10 or 11-year peak where he was averaging out 24 points, like 11.9 rebounds. So that's almost 12 rebounds, 4.9 assists, 1.7 steals. That was from like 85, 86 and on. I said that's just impressive for me at his size. And then during his MVP campaign, 26 points or 25 and a half, a little bit over 12 rebounds, 5 assists. Got to the finals once. He never got there with the Sixers. No, he never got with the Sixers. Did he? No, right? In the 80s? Never. No.
No, or Houston, no.
Not in the 80s, right? 85 with early with Nolan and all that.
Yeah, they were. Yeah, when he joined the Sixers, they were.
So it was impressive. I said, I don't know why when I was younger, I was like a huge. I like Chuck, but I had other centers and power forwards, and I, as I got older, like after he retired, like I kind of like looked back at his career, like fucking, he had a hell of a run. Like I say, for his size and for what he did, I mean, fucking level of player. So I don't know if you guys agree. I think you guys probably do, but I'm going with Sir Charles.
Definitely, he's in there. Luis, you agree?
Yeah, I agree with everything Sal said. I mean, maybe I'm being nostalgic, but that season where he got the MVP, I think it was a 90 when he went to the finals against the Bulls. I mean, he was a man possessed. Like he was determined that season to win a championship, and they just ran into the Bulls. And I'd just be curious. Maybe you guys know this off the top of your head, but I don't. I wonder in an honest moment, like for like Scottie Pippen and Jordan, like the main guys of those championship teams, like who they matched up against that they had. I don't think they would ever admit, you know what I mean? But that maybe gave them the hardest time. Like the Suns, they beat them 4-2, so it wasn't like, I think the Jazz series was maybe more competitive, but I feel like they couldn't stop Charles Barkley during that series. Like I don't know what his stats were for that series, but I think they were nuts. So, and even I think because I've heard Charles Barkley talk about like it's so defeating playing at such a high level. Like you're just playing like so well, and then just for it not to be enough to come up short. When he was talking specifically about that championship. So anyway, long-winded way of saying like, yeah, he's in. Even though he just got the one MVP, and I don't think he ever made it to another finals besides that season. But yeah, I would put him on the list.
We got two for two.
So for
Two for two.
That's how we started before.
Okay, well, I'll throw a quick name in there. I'm finally gonna get this guy in. He has to go on this list. I've been trying to get John Stockton in some sort of list, and he hasn't made it yet. So he has to be in there for this one. For the go ahead, Sal.
No. I was kidding. That was a mess. Yeah, go ahead and finish off.
No. I mean, just with his career stats, obviously going to the finals back to back. Doesn't have an MVP, but all-time leader in steals, right? Is he the all-time leader in steals? Yeah, all-time leader in steals. Was
and
just
assists.
an assist and back-to-back final appearances. He was definitely, Malone's sidekick in those runs. So I mean, I think John Stockton has to be in there as one of those players that if it wasn't for Michael Jordan, another player that unfortunately because of Michael Jeffrey Jordan does not have a ring. I don't want to be dramatic, but I doubt there's a player in LeBron James era that is ringless that should be on this list. But I
think Ron Harper defended John Stockton, but let's go on. Let's go on.
That's funny you should mention that, because when I was coming up with the list, I knew that's what you were gonna say, Luis.
Yeah, maybe Chris Paul.
They all didn't win a ring because of Jordan. Well, I have a fucking list of players they didn't win because of LeBron. I don't know if they'll make the top 10, but I got a list of those motherfuckers.
Yeah, I think we're concentrating in the 90s, 80s, but yeah, there's still maybe some active players that might win, but
that's true. Sal, you're good with Stockton?
We'll put him in. I think we should say let's go through the 10. Everybody go through take the turn or whatever, and then we'll see who else we missed out, and then maybe we could just bump them out afterwards.
Okay.
Do you wanna do it differently this time?
I think so. I mean, well, it's hard to argue Stockton right now. Like argue not to put him in there right now, without giving away our list. That's what I'm trying to get at. Because then, well, you got Stockton, then I'm gonna give you my list, my point guards and my shooting guards and.
So why don't we do this? We just so right now we got Malone, Stockton, and Charles Barkley, right? And we keep going, and if other players come after the 10, we would have to bump one of the other guys out. Like I understand what you're saying, Sal. It's like it's not cemented; they could still get bumped up, right?
Yeah. If somebody else comes out, we could go back and say like, oh, fucking that guy was better than this other guy.
Sure. Okay. So, all right, Don, who else would you want to throw in there?
I got Sal's boy, Allen Iverson.
Yeah, go pound for pound.
Yeah.
Some people argue pound for pound.
Yeah. That's I don't think Jordan could take credit of that one. That's Kobe and Shaq, man. That's top.
Yeah, I mean that was his only trip to the finals. He's also one of the players that has an MVP. Never really had the team around him. He went to the finals with Mutombo, but Eric Snow, McKee,
sure.
Like a bunch of I don't know, bench players.
No,
so yeah, definitely for his size, the talent, we all agree.
Yeah, I put him in there.
Yeah, another same thing is undersized, but he's still explosive. You can't question his heart. The only thing I said that afterwards it came out, like, he didn't know any better. Like, I wish he trained a little harder. Maybe he would have, maintained his body like a little healthier or more prepared. But that wasn't a knock on him. He was in practice and he was in training. he didn't want to lift any weights or anything like that. So who knows?
Mhm.
But I wish he fucking did, and maybe but it would have bought him like another 2-3 years, productive years. But yeah, I mean the other guy, I said this guy has one MVP, one of 10, 11 All Stars. Like I said, undersized,
Hall of
heart of a
Fame, Rookie of the
champion,
Year.
definitely. Yeah, Rook of the Year. Just like his skill set, like fuck. I mean,
Mhm.
this fucking that guy was not 6'4", 6'1". The way he attacked the basket, he was fearless and man up against some of the best guards. I mean, yeah. So yeah, I agree. I say yeah, he's on the list. Luis, you got him.
Then yeah, steals and assists. He would also, he was known for being a shooter and a scorer, but he was also, a pretty decent assist guy, and he was up there in steals, would lead the league in steals at times. So pretty, yeah, man. And unfortunately, just one finals appearance. That was it for him. But I think it's like what Don said. He never really had a team around him. It was like really a bunch. Like even that team that went up against the Lakers, kind of a scrub team, Um,
Yeah.
but so yeah, for sure he's on there.
The game one was fucking epic though.
That was good. That was their best shot, and they got it. And did they get swept the rest of the way after that? They just got the one and then
They
lost
in
4 in a
5,
row.
Yeah.
Damn, man, damn. Yeah, and I think that game was in LA, right? Wasn't it? Like, didn't it was in LA? And then
It was in
Lakers
LA
just came back.
overtime game. We watched it with Kevin, super
Oh, he was
Laker
pissed.
fan. Yeah.
Yeah, he was all in his Laker gear. I remember
Yeah, he
he was so mad. He was so upset. But it was short lived because they made their adjust. Phil made the adjustments.
All right.
All right. What about you, Sal? Who do you
My
who else
turn.
you- So we got.
But we're at 5 right now. Well, no,
Yeah, we're at
this is
5
number
already.
5 right here.
We're
Hope
4.
you guys agree on this one. I'm gonna go. I think this guy deserves to be on. He has to be on the list because you can't fault the guy for trying. That guy did definitely try. I got Elgin Baylor on the list.
Elgin Baylor.
11-time All-Star, 10-time first team NBA. Throughout his career, he averaged 27. The first 12 years. I think was it 12 years? Yeah, first 12 years of his career.
Yeah.
27.6, 13.6 rebounds, 4.3 assists. I mean, the guy fucking tried. He took the Lakers team. He fell short. He had an 0-8 finals record.
Mhm.
So they fucking. He was there. He was so close.
Yeah.
But I think Baylor has to be on the list. I didn't know when I was looking up the list that I think you guys did already because you guys are smarter than I am. But the year he retired, the 71-72 year campaign, he was 37 years old, and he retired because of knee troubles, like maybe like 9 games into the season. That year, the Lakers finished 69-13, were crowned champions.
Damn. Maybe it was him. Maybe he was a ball hog, man. Maybe he's the Kobe of the time.
Oh, you know what? Maybe I wasn't there to watch him, but you're right. Let's put that one on the bubble. Put him in the bubble.
I have him in my top 10 too.
I have him on the list too. I think I was surprised that he was 0-8. I didn't know he was 0-8 in final appearances, but I mean, I think he ran into that era of Bill Russell and Will Chamberlain, I think, and so but I would put him for all the reasons you just said, Sal. I would put him in there for sure.
Yep. So we're up to 5.
Okay,
all right, let me make a difference. So we're getting rid of all the guys that I think we all agree on, right?
Yeah, I think it's gonna get something after 8. It's the last couple. We'll be like, oh, what about this guy? What about that?
Right. So the other guy that I would throw in there, it's another '90s guy. Ringless was Patrick Ewing. I think we all grew up watching the Knicks, hating on them, and hoping that they would lose when they got past, right? They got past the Bulls that 1 year when Jordan retired, right? And then they lost in the finals against Houston, I want to say.
Yep.
And I think, man, my memory is so bad. Did Ewing make it again to the finals? Was he part of that '99 team when Sprewell was there?
He was hurt. He got hurt, but he was
Okay.
still part of the team. But I don't think he was playing. I think
He didn't
was
play.
hurt.
Okay, so it was really more like that.
He would have gotten a
mid-90s.
ring. Yeah, he would have gotten a ring if they won because he was part of the team. But yeah,
Yeah. Yeah, right. So I put Patrick Ewing in there, one of the all-time centers. I don't know what you guys think.
I have him just outside of my top.
Outside the top 10? Interesting.
Sal?
Interesting.
I have. I mean, but I'll give my list away.
Oh no, sorry. I do have them within my 10. Sorry, I do. I do.
Okay. I was like, man.
Yeah, we'll put him on the list. Put him on the list.
Now it gets tougher because this guy no MVPs. Was that his only finals appearance, or did he have 2 of them? I guess the other one doesn't count really.
Rockets.
If you Google it, it might count, but he only played in 1. But I think he was part of the team that made it in '99. So if you Google it, it might say that he made it twice.
But I felt like he was a complete center. You know what I mean? He was there to rebound, defend, score. He was one of their primary. That was back in the old school days where you fed the ball in the post, and let him do his thing. So, I would still put him in the top 10 of all time English players.
He was dominant for his time.
All right, Adon, who else would you throw in there? So we're at 5, right, or 6?
We're at 6. We're at 6 right now. So, this guy, maybe you guys won't agree with. I still have everyone that you mentioned. I have in my top 10, but I'm gonna go with one that maybe you guys don't have. Steve Nash.
Oh,
back-to-back MVP. Only a handful of players have done that. Changed the game with D'Antoni, and never won a ring. See, I knew that. Like, I'll bring it up just to put somebody in the bubble already.
I think that's gonna be a first on the bubble guy. I don't know what you think of that. I mean, Luis.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to overlook the back-to-back MVPs. I'm biased against Nash though. I don't think he deserved, back-to-back MVPs.
I agree.
But he did get them, right. He won them, and he was the best player. It was when he was with Phoenix, right? And they just had the high rolling offense, right? He was like, he wasn't as good as Curry was, but that's what he, just running around and fucking, dribbling under the basket and creating mayhem, right? And
he was efficient, right? Like he was
efficient,
that 50 40 90 guy. Like he just didn't average much, but
so I wouldn't dismiss him, but I'd probably put him on the bubble. But then that means that 4 other guys. Yes, I would put him on the bubble.
Okay.
That guy had help, so when they didn't win. I mean, he had Stoudemire. Was it Finley on those teams? No, not Finley.
He had Barbosa, Stoudemire, I think.
Sean Marion,
the Matrix.
Was solid. Yeah.
They got Shaq when he was still okay, but I don't know why they got Shaq that season. It didn't seem to.
They had
Richardson,
right?
Richardson, Phoenix.
Yeah, they did. Because he was one of the.
Yeah, that's why. That's something that he had some, and these other guys are looking up. Besides Stockton and Malone, they had each other. These other guys generally had help.
Oh man, they got Joe Johnson too.
And Nash had some.
Joe Johnson, Amari, Sean Marion. That was a good team.
Richardson on the team during that time, like you said, and Richardson was so good.
Shannon Fry, so they had shooters. That's what I'm saying. Like they kind of. I don't know.
So
it was maybe a lot of it was more D'Antoni, but Nash was able to make it happen on the court.
That's when that first MVP was when he kind of beat out Shaq, which is crazy. But yeah. So anyway, yeah, I would put him on the bubble.
I don't remember if it was his first or his second where he beat out Czech. But the thing is, like, they gave him the first one, right? And I don't remember these stats. So this is an AP stat of the night. Don't fucking count it. But he averaged like 14, 12, or something like that, right? And they gave him the MVP because they were one of the top scoring offense and good record.
Yeah.
But then the next season, he came back and he was averaging 17 and 15. So we're like,
did even better.
shit, we gave it to him for 14 and 12. We got to give it to him for
Right.
17 and 15.
Right.
All
I
right,
get
bubble
it.
guy. All right.
This one might be a bubble guy. I think he's not, but just based on his resume, definitely didn't have no MVPs. 5-time All-Star, 3-time third MVP. That's the thing is, 5-time All-Star, 3-time third team All-NBA. But that's because he played it fucking behind Jordan. I got Reggie Miller.
I was gonna guess Reggie Miller.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
a tough guy. And the same thing they say Nash had help. This guy never had a two. What we had Rick Smits, the Davis brothers and shit.
Mhm.
He had some point guards. He had some help like with Mark Jackson. Some about what Travis Best, McKee. I mean, what I'm saying, like like it just.
Mhm.
He did have Mullen right for a while, for a little bit.
He did. Chris Mullen,
Towards
Jalen
the end,
Rose.
Yeah, but yeah, like I said, his resume's not that great. I said like he's like points. He's up there, right? I think I looked that up. There, he was like 14th or something in the list. 14th on the NBA on the list. 39th in steals. 91st in assists. I mean, the guy was hell of a player. Like he's the only one. The reason why the Pacers were relevant and won the players just because of him. I said he had good players, but like I said, everybody has like a strong number two. To compete or to win. That guy never had that, and he was still there. Even with the team they had, it sucks. I remember. Fuck, I was in the team. He's the one that took the Bulls to Game 7. The Eastern Conference Finals in 798, and they lost by 5 points the last game. It was a fucking
it was tight.
So like that guy, if he could do that, lead that team, hold the team to win, inspire that team. Like I said, it's not that he had a bunch of great role players. Like the Smiths, Antonio and Dale Davis, coming, switching off the power. McKee at that time, and said Travis Best, like you said. I mean, I remember them being pretty good, but I mean, in hindsight, like who the fuck were those guys like that? So, yeah, I got Miller. That's another one.
That's a good one. I agree with Miller.
We could put him, but I think I have better ones. I would say he's on the bubble, but we could add him for now.
Okay,
I just don't think
for now.
I don't think he had an all-around game. Like I don't think he made his teammates better. I don't think he played tough, but I don't think he was known for any kind of defense or anything like that. He was clutch, but he averaged like 21 points. I remember back in the 90s, they asked Reggie Miller if he could be any player, which player would he be, right, other than himself? And he said Scottie Pippen, because that Scottie Pippen can control a game without having to score. Like Pippen could have 0 points, but he owned the entire game because of his defense, his rebounding, his assisting. But that's something that Reggie wasn't known for. But we could put him. I think I have other guys that maybe you guys will agree could replace him.
I got you.
Teaser.
That's a good point, Adon. With Reggie Miller, I kind of agree with Sal in terms of he was one of the guys that I feared when they would play the Bulls.
When the game was close, though, right?
When it was close, but he was pretty fearless. Like he wasn't nervous about going up against Pippen or Jordan or anything. And his offensive game was good enough where he could, take over a game in small spurts, especially like what you said, like if it's close. So he definitely made me nervous. I mean, and this guy just like, man, talk about, first getting blocked by, those Bulls teams, right? And then those guys retire out, and now you got Kobe and Shaq. Like, I mean, the guy can't catch a break, you know what I mean? Like he's always going up against, teams that have multiple, you know what I mean? Hall of Famers. I don't know if he played with Hall of Famers off the top of my head, you know, Reggie Miller. Like he had a solid players,
It's-
like vets,
yeah.
you know what I mean? I think
It's re-
they always had a like Rick Smiths, and I think Detlef Schrempf was in there in the beginning. Wasn't or was it with Seattle? I'm
I
confusing
think he
it. No,
played
no, no.
both.
It was
Well, Detlef
Dale
Schrempf-
Davis. Right, so they-
wasn't it
Aaron
Chris
McKee-
Mullen? Was it Detlef Schrempf?
Chris
Maybe.
Mullen was there too. I can't even know.
But it's
Detlef,
Rick
I'm
Smith.
confusing myself.
Rick Smith and Mark Jackson, aren't they?
Jackson. Oh, so yeah, that's a good point.
I don't know. I think Mark Jackson is, or at least he should be.
Yeah,
but
yeah. I
he
think
might
you're
not
right.
be.
I don't know. All right,
He
so
probably had him
yeah,
for a
no,
couple of years too. You know, like it's
Yeah.
like.
And it wasn't prime Mark
I
Jackson.
hear it.
Prime Mark Jackson was in New York and all that, but still, like solid vets. He was always with like a solid veteran team.
He was off the top of my head right away. I came up with, but the guys that we've talking about, Karl Malone, Charles Barkley, Stockton, Reggie Miller, Patrick Ewing. But then as I kept thinking of more, I kind of just kept on bumping him off. So let's see what we end up doing.
All right, sounds good. All right, I'm gonna throw this guy. I think he's on the outside looking in. This is more of just me trying to make a case for this guy because I'm sure you guys have a bunch of other. But I wanted to put Chris Webber on the list. I don't even think he's in the list for a lot of places. But man, that guy, I feel bad saying this. He's like a poor man's Charles Barkley. You know what I mean? The guy was, he was had to carry the offensive load, rebounding, and then he would always have to guard bigger players. Like he was playing in an era where there was just so many good power forwards. He had to go up against Tim Duncan and fucking Kevin Garnett, and where they would play the Lakers, he got stuck guarding Shaq and fouled the shit out of him. You know, it was just
a good one.
And he took his teams. I mean, now nostalgia wise, like in the moment, nobody was picking the Sacramento Kings. They were just exciting, but they weren't better than the Lakers. Like nobody was picking them. Now, when you look back at clips, you're like, man, they had Christie and Turgalug and Mike Bibby or Jason Williams. So it's cool. It was cool, but it's cool now. Like back then, they were underdogs. Like they weren't better than the loaded team that they were.
They should have.
Some people did have them.
They should have beaten the Lakers that one series, man. The refs gave them that game.
Yeah,
Vlade Divac, man, didn't. I hate that Vlade volleyball the shit out of that ball right into Robert Horry's
to Horry,
like, like just grab it, man. You know, like why do that? But I guess it was just in the heat up. But anyway, so I would want to throw Chris Webber's name in there. Never got an MVP, you know. Solid player, almost like average 20 and 10, pretty much. NBA Rookie of the Year, 5-time NBA All-Star. You know, only one All NBA first team. So I don't know. What do you guys think? Never made it to the finals.
Let's put on the bubble with Steve Nash. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I'll be honest. I'm kind of mad at thinking about Weber, but it's right now in the bubble.
Okay, so how many guys do we have so far? I think we only have
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Because we didn't agree on Miller.
No, we could put Miller. I'm saying let's put him in there, and then if we name somebody, maybe we could.
Yeah.
If not, then he stays. But we have 7 with 2 on the bubble. All right, you guys ready for the next one?
Yeah, go for it, man.
Shockers.
And I have these 3 that I know it's gonna shock you, but I don't know which one to say first. How about CP3?
Ooh.
Charles calls him the ultimate leader. You can't deny that every team he has played for, the team has gotten better. Like if you just look at the records before and after, especially like OKC and Suns and some other ones that they were just kind of like mediocre, middle of the pack. But he makes a difference. Now he always gets hurt. I get it, right? And he doesn't have success in the playoffs, but it's not because of his performance or anything like that. It's not like well, I was gonna say the name of another guy, but he's also on the list. But he he is a really good player. He's a clutch player. Like if you see Chris Paul at the end of the games when he's good and healthy, those pick and rolls with those mid-range jumpers, he's fucking money. But he's never won anything and he's failed in the playoffs. But I would put him up there.
So, what do you say?
You want me to tell you what I honestly think about Chris Paul?
Hey, bubble? I mean, I don't care. Just throwing them out there.
I mean, his resume it speaks for itself, but I just think, well, one, I think bubble, for the first obvious reason, the career's not over. But even if he wins it now, I was thinking about including players that won a championship, but it was like late in the career, and it wasn't like, what's the word? Like they weren't like a huge factor. Like they weren't like leading the team. I mean, he could win one, and then he could probably sneak him in there because his resume speaks for itself. 10-time All-Star. I'm looking it up right now. 4-time, first-time NBA. I said I heard that thing about a leader, fucking.
But that's not the question right now, right? Because I was thinking, Gary Payton, but he won one with the Heat, so
he won 130. Yeah.
So if
see, that's another thing that I was thinking about including those guys in there, like to me it doesn't matter. Like, you won one, but did you really win? Was it you that won it?
Right.
But I said just because that I think he's not like at the point of retiring. He's I don't know. I think
so.
His career isn't over yet. So I think bubble for that same reason, just for that reason alone.
So then
no not over.
Just really quick, just to confirm, no player that's playing right now.
No, you can put him on there, but that's what I think that brings him out of the 10. Because I know one of you guys, I hope don't bring up Westbrook, and he does not belong on that list. The stat pattern. Don't even.
Let me take it up then.
Yeah, please cross that guy. Like, you're right. That guy. No. He's the reason why he cost people rings. So don't with his fucking bad shot selection, his fucking shoot from the arc, his fucking stupid pass. He cost people from getting rings or adding to the rings. So that guy best not be on any one of your lists.
He won't be anymore.
Oh, sad.
At least he's not sad.
No, I'm still thinking about Chris Paul. I have a hard time with him because I like Chris Paul. Man, he's kind of, maybe it's unfair. Like to me, I feel like he's watered down his career. Not in a bad way. He's played for a long time. Let me put it this way. When we talk about, and it's not fair, but when we talk about like Karl Malone, even Charles Barkley. When I think of Charles Barkley, I think about Phoenix, right? I think of Karl Malone, Utah, Reggie Miller, and Niceviga, right? The same team, right? CP3 has been like he's been, I don't know how many jerseys that guy's had over his career. Now that's not on him, right? He's been traded, right? I don't think until recently he hasn't really demanded trades to specific places or whatever. And he has played with some really good players, maybe not the best team, like in the Clippers, he played with some good players. Phoenix, of course.
What did those players do after they
Houston?
What did?
But you're right. No, you make a good point. Like he does make the team better. You know what I mean? Like even this year, like he's going to Golden State. It's kind of like he's an old guy. How's he gonna fit in there? But I think he'll find a way to contribute. Because he just has a high basketball IQ. His career average for assists is still at 11.6. Even with a couple of down years, like the guy could still put his teammates in positions to score, right? And the knock on him is that he gets hurt, so it's hard, right? And he hasn't won a ring, and I think that's the only thing. It's just because I don't.
Can I
put him on the list? Yeah.
So just really quick, when you think of the New Orleans Hornets, who do you think of?
Yeah, no, you're right. The Hornets, I think of like Larry Johnson, Alonzo Mourning, but that's just me being old. But of course,
let me phrase it this way: who has been the best player to ever play for New Orleans, and who has been the best player to ever play for the Clippers?
Yeah, it's
because he was a Pelican. He was a Pelican, not a Hornet, was it?
Well,
was the
it
Hornet.
started off, I think, as a Hornet, and then it switched over or whatever. I
It
think
was a Bobcat. It was Bobcats and then Hornet Pelicans, right?
the New
No, it was the
Orleans
Charlotte
Hornets.
Bobcats. It was the Hornets, and then I
Yeah.
think he was gone before they
And
went.
then they switched it over to like Oklahoma City later, but that's when he was gone. Yeah, it's hard, man. I would put him in the bubble. The only reason is because it's kind of like maybe I'm being unfair. A lot of the guys that we've named on the list, I feel like they're the main reason that they even got close to a championship or got to the finals and couldn't get over the hump, you know?
Okay.
And CP3, I don't want to dismiss it. Like I'm not, but he needs other, like you put CP3 like Iverson on the team with Iverson had, you know, they're not going to the finals. I don't think. But he did. I mean, he did revive his career in Oklahoma, right? And he had a bunch of young guys, right? Like in Oklahoma, and I can't remember off the top of my head, but they were in the playoffs until I think he got hurt or whatever.
Again,
So maybe I don't know. I would have to off the top of my man, because he always gets hurt in the fucking playoffs, man.
Let's put him in the bubble. I think he's a better overall player than Reggie Miller, but Reggie Miller did get to the finals, and
with less help.
with less. So yeah.
What and isn't that crazy? I always forget. The NBA ended up blocking that trade because the NBA owned the David Stern blocked the trade to the Lakers. Like they had announced it already, and they fucking rescinded it or whatever. That would have been crazy if he would have, because that was in his, he was in his prime at that time. He would have paired up with Kobe. That would have been nasty.
Maybe, but they said they're both leaders. They would have bumped heads. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? You never know.
That's a good one though.
Chris Paul would have been like, "You don't need the ball as much as you think you do, buddy. Get the fuck out of here."
Hey, maybe that would have helped Kobe. Okay,
but look at I'm looking at it like he's been in the playoffs like almost every year.
I just see if you guys have anybody better.
He's had the. I do have someone better.
Yeah.
All right. Who do you got?
Is it my turn though?
Yeah.
No, it's a good gun.
Yeah, I would say we put him in the bubble right now.
All right.
He's in the bubble.
So we're at 7, right?
Yeah.
Yep. Still at 7.
All right. Let me see. I want to look at your reactions when I see this. Be sure.
What you got?
I got one of my main men right here.
Main man.
One of my main men, Dominique Wilkins.
Oh, damn it. That's what.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
All right. Sounds good. The same thing I said. People always think about it. He's just a dunker, but I mean, the guy.
Right.
He didn't just dunk all game, you know. I forgot he did lead the league in scoring in 85-86 with 30 points per game. I think there was a stretch, like a 10 or 11-year stretch where he was averaging 27.4, 7.1 rebounds, 2.7 assists, 1.4 steals. And the guy just had luck, you know. He got drafted, Atlanta, and they just failed to put a solid team around him, you know. Like, who did he have that, you know, that could help him? Like, I mean, honestly, right now, like
Kevin Willis is the only one that I could think of that
was like late in his career, right? Because Kevin Willis came in.
Yeah.
Doc Rivers was there for a little while, right? Maybe Doc Rivers was there.
Doc Rivers, maybe Mookie Blaylock. I don't know if he played.
Lenny Wilkins there? Lenny Wilkins?
Wilkins, well, yeah, actually, I don't remember when.
But if he did, it was for a couple years. Like, he didn't have like neck and neck. Those are not great players, and the same day he's failed. And that's why he goes. People get, I think, just for that reason, like I said, you know, Chris Paul has started playing. People get credit for having solid teams like Larry and the Celtics and Boston. You know, and they have they win because they have a great team built around them. You know, some people get negative points because they quote unquote ring chase. I think if you stay put in your, you know, in your hometown or your team that drafted you, you play your entire career, most of the entire career, and you don't win anything, but they failed to build any type of contender during your time there, then that falls on maybe you get bonus points for that. You know, you did your part. You know, fucking because fucking if you go ring change, they fucking boo you, and then you stay there and no one shit because they can't build a contender. Then you're considered a loser or not a winner. Blah blah blah. You're winless. But I don't think that's fair. But yeah, I got Dominique, and sounds like you guys agree with that one right now. So Dominique Wilkins and Nick.
Yeah, absolutely.
I was surprised too. I remember when I don't know, he came out of retirement or he was a free. I forgot how he got to San Antonio that year when they had no with and he was putting some let me look at it. I thought he was putting some monster numbers with San Antonio. And I was like surprised. And then all of a sudden he's like he retired right after that. I'm like, what the fuck? I was kind of excited. Like, you got Duncan and fucking David's coming back and Neek there, and I don't know, and he just like, no, I'm out. But hold on, let me just look up what he maybe
I don't remember that.
I remember Michael Finley going. I don't remember.
Well, no, it was before. He played 96, 97. Yeah, that was it. Played 63 games, 30 minutes, or 30.9. He averaged 18.2 points, 41% field goal, 29% from 3-point. He was never done. 6 rebounds, 1.9 assists, like half a steal per game. All right, but this was second to last
season
before he went to Magic. I mean, at that age, you know, for all those miles, I mean, because he had 18 points, but there were some, you know, like I remember some games where he was like 25, 30, you know, you got to average 18. So I was like, what the fuck? And then, like, why don't they make this guy an offer? And a leader as a vet, and you know, you got Duncan out coming in, and David's coming back, him off the bench. I was kind of upset, you know, because he was one of my favorite players. And now he went to Magic, and then he ended his career Magic. I forgot he played with the Celtics, he played with Clippers, but yeah, the majority was with them Hawks.
No, I agree. I give him a thumbs up to be on the list for sure.
Oh, he won the scoring record in 85-86, 30.1. But 2 seasons later, he didn't win the scoring record, but he averaged more. He was at 30.7 points per game, and he still lost that fucking 29 in between. So hell of a player. Didn't win one.
Yeah, he had some good seasons. 92, 93, he averaged 29.9, but I think that was all Jordan right there, that whole period.
But yeah, I was remembering he was okay here already. But like, I want to see David Robinson. I want to see Duncan and Neek and nothing. They just look. I'm like, fuck, motherfuckers.
Yeah, man, we got a star-studded list, guys, and I know your boy Nick Wright always talks about like how, you know, that people over-exaggerate that a lot of players that it's not true that they didn't get a championship when Jordan was playing, but I don't know, man. That's a lot of greats so far in his era that never got a ring. So it's crazy. Just a side note. I'm just talking out loud, guys.
Yeah, I'm ready. I'm ready when we're done with the list.
A bit more factors. I think.
All right, so
okay,
go ahead. No, go.
I'm saying if the roles were reversed, if Atlanta had drafted Jordan and Nick with the Bulls, you know, you really think Jordan would carry that team to a few championships? You know what I'm saying?
Fair enough. I don't know.
But
all right, so he's on the list. How many are we at?
We're at 8.
Yeah, we're at 8. All right, so I'll throw another guy's name in there to move it along. The Iceman, George Gervin. I mean, he's just the accolades he has. You know, he's top 50, top 75. You know, on those lists of all-time players. He's in the Hall of Fame. I think he has an MVP. No, he doesn't have an MVP. But he has 4-time NBA scoring champion. Never got a championship, you know. So I would, you know, didn't get to see him play, but just based off all his accolades, I would throw him in there. I don't know what you guys think.
I have him on the outside looking in.
Okay.
Chava?
That's it.
What do you think?
Tough because I heard so many good things about the guy. I was a fan without even watching the guy, you know, like I was like, oh shit, and this is what you read about him. But it was just hard. I'm still torn, and I said this is probably gonna help, you know. But as of right now, I have him on the list.
Yeah, it's just And a lot of it is just accolades, man. This is another stat, Adon. One of 3 players in the NBA history to average 30 points per game and shoot 50%. The only other 2 is Stephen Curry and LeBron James. Nah, it's Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan and Stephen Curry and the Iceman too.
Can I ask you something? Like,
yeah.
What are you doing giving us stats?
That's not an AP stat. That doesn't sound worthy of an AP stat of the night.
LeBron didn't shoot 50% when he averaged over 30.
I don't know. Not according to Wikipedia.
Okay. I have George.
It says, oh, you know what? You're right, Adon. You're right. They put a little in a season as a guard. So
what the
LeBron
fuck?
James, they put him as a small forward. Yeah, so it's a very, I guess so with guards. Yeah, not in yeah.
Yeah, because I'm sure KD has done it too, right? Like LeBron
Probably.
has done it, KD has done it,
Yeah.
Giannis has done it. I have him. He came into mind, but so it's my turn to give somebody, right? Like we have 2 left. So is he better than Carmelo Anthony? And I know we didn't get to watch him play, but I mean, and a lot of his stats came in the ABA, so it would have been even stronger for Gervin if it was all in the NBA. But we have 2 left. I mean, I know we're gonna throw out some other names anyway, but I would put Carmelo Anthony over George Gervin.
Can I say something real quick?
Yeah.
It was tough for me. I said George just because I don't know. I just thought he belonged, right? But it was hard for me to. I mean, skill wise, I know which one's a better player, but Melo had some help, with the Knicks. They were a pretty decent team. Was it? Yeah, right. When they did.
But New York, I think he didn't have such a good team. I don't feel bad for Carmelo. He took that fat contract to play with a weak ass team, and he got paid. He went and got his money. You can't fault him for that. But I think because of that, they didn't build he had okay players with him, but not like he made his own bet. Like he decided he could have gone and different route. Like even LeBron orchestrated a way to play with other players. And LeBron could have gotten paid way more money, and took less so that he could build a better team. Fucking Carmelo was like, fuck it, let's go to New York. I remember when he was Chicago would have been a better team for him too, even. And he came and entertained it, and it's not his fault. Like he went for the money.
Yeah, Stoudemire was on his way down. Well,
yeah.
The year
I would look it up, but I don't think he went because New York offered him the most money, a massive contract, and then he just kind of
what LeBron did. LeBron grabbed the players that Carmelo had in New York, and he took them to the finals. Amon Shepard, J.R. Smith. I mean, just think about it. Like he did. He grabbed the players that Carmelo had in New York, and they got him in Cleveland, and he took them to the finals.
And they were probably at the end of the career, but that team that you mentioned that was J.R. Smith and Iman and Melo, they also had Baron Davis, Tyson Chandler, Mike Bibby, Amari Stoudemire.
Oh, you're right.
So it just sucks because he's a hell of a player.
Yeah, but Baron Davis
maybe because it's the scorers, and that's why I had him in the same tier. I had Gervin, Melo, and McGrady.
Oh, McGrady.
McGrady, but didn't McGrady win 1 with San Antonio? But he didn't, or maybe I'm wrong. Didn't he get a ring, McGrady?
He was winless
As a role player.
I don't remember him going to San Antonio, but you might be
right. Maybe he lost it. Maybe they didn't win. Maybe it was that fucking LeBron season.
Maybe
because Chris Webber went to the Pistons and they lost.
Yeah,
they lost that season too because he won everything.
Yeah. He never won a championship.
So he was in the 2013 Spurs one. Did they win that year?
It says never got a championship.
Yeah. Oh, okay. My bad. We're skipping ahead. Okay. So on Carmelo, what do you say, Sal? Is he under or not?
I think Man, it just sucks because I mean, overall skills wise from those three, I mean, Gervin was a score, right? Skills wise, I think McGrady was a better player, like without a doubt.
Carmelo.
Yeah, I mean,
So you're
the bank of Yao Ming. So that's what I'm saying. It's hard. I put Gervin because I feel like I had to like honor the greats in the past. But I mean, player wise, I think fucking McGrady's a better player, but
isn't that what we're doing? Like I think we're doing the same thing when we talk about goats. We're confusing careers with players. I focus on player. Who's the better player, not who had the better career. I mean, I know we are talking about MVPs and how many times they made the finals, but a lot of it is also eye test. And I know we didn't get to see George Gervin play, but I'm going based off who I think was a really good player. I don't care about the other stuff that didn't win a championship. That's what I was basing my criteria on. But I have George Gervin. If you guys think George belongs in the top 10, then we're up to 9. And then we got a few in the bubble, so we could put Carmelo Anthony in the bubble. Let's give out some other names. Let's see who else is in the bubble, and then we could come up with a 10th.
It's good. And the player wise, just real quick as McGrady goes, I think he was a better player, but and then he was also hurt often, So like, do you take that away from him, or I don't know, like, but I mean, in hindsight,
the same. You said CP3 because he was hurt in the playoffs.
I said his career wasn't over. That's Luis said that. But
okay.
Oh.
So you had an AP instead of that again, huh?
I'm all over the place. So right now we only have 8 players, right?
No, 9.
And
I think if we put George Gervin, then we're up to 9, right?
Okay.
So, but what did we decide on Carmelo?
I think we're putting him in the bubble along with McGrady, and then let's throw out some other names in the bubble, and then we'll pick the last one.
All right, let's pick one more. Who's next? And I gave. I'm not next, right? I just gave one, right?
I think you were next, but you gave McGrady just by talking.
Well, I was saying because the same skill set. But
he didn't play as long. But I think we're probably back to you, Luis.
Next, to me. So I'm confused because the other people on the list, I don't know if I would put ahead against the guys that we have outside looking in. So we're talking about like CP3, Nash, McGrady, and Carmelo. And that's if we put Gervin in, then there's only one spot left, right?
Yep.
So between CP3, Nash,
Carmelo, McGrady, and Chris Webber. So that Chris Webber's still out there.
Oh yeah, Chris Webber. All right, so then I think if I had to vote out of that pool, the outside looking in to go in the top 10, so Chris Webber, Tracy McGrady. Damn, man. So
you don't have another name? I got more names to add to the pool.
So go ahead. Damn, I'm having a hard time with those guys as it is. I can't. The other guys I have, like, I didn't see really play, So
I'll throw one really quick in.
Yeah.
You got, maybe Sal's gonna poo-poo it because he's still playing, but your boy.
Ooh.
Same time.
Other a ball hog.
Wow, what team has he had that
that was
they
tough
build around him?
I think that guy still has like another 70-80 years. I think that guy's far from being.
Yeah, but we're talking about right now. What best players to never win a ring? I'm just throwing it out there.
Okay. I guess we should have been more specific. I was thinking more like either close to retirement or you're done retirement. Like, because then I'm not a huge fan of the guy too. But then I guess Harden has to be in fucking talks if that's the case too.
Yeah, I had him on the list as well. I didn't mention him when I was talking about CP3 because he was the one that kind of chokes in the playoffs.
If anything, other ones, but they're not pound for pound not better players, but like maybe Carter and Grant Hill. But I think Grant Hill's problem is he just got hurt, you know, like fucking. But he was hell of a player. I mean, if you want to go skill set wise, then he probably is better than he maybe cracks the top 10. Vince Carter was good, but maybe he doesn't crack top 10. I think right now, I think Chris Webber could slide in for my top 10. I mean, I was a fan of Webber. Fucking, he led that team. He got robbed. Definitely got fucking robbed by the fucking
Is he better than Carmelo? Chris Webber? Is he?
I think skill set for what he was asked to do. Like he couldn't. Carmelo was just like, hey man, just score, just fucking shoot, fucking drive to the basket, fucking post up types. I think that's easier when fucking what Luis mentioned. Like that guy got stuck guarding Shaq. He was a playmaker. That guy was like his people talked about like he was like the next almost like the next Magic. 6'8", 6'9" guy. Fucking the way he handled the ball, great pass ability. Knocked on some shots. He was a pretty good scorer, I think. Skill set wise, I think he is a better player.
All right. He's better than
Stressed out.
McGrady too.
Ooh.
McGrady right there that took me the top one. Said
Dude, you came up with some really good ones. I forgot about Vince Carter. I forgot about Grant. I forgot about Vince Carter and Grant Hill. You're right; those guys were really, really good players.
I think McGrady is talented, better basketball player, but Weber did play long. You know what I'm saying? He was healthier. He was more available. But it just sucks. I know it sounds stupid, but I mean, I think that's might count a little bit. The better player. If I had to build a team and they just say they were both gonna be healthy for the next fucking 5-10 years, whatever, I'll go with McGrady. I'm gonna fucking build a team against McGrady.
That should be our question, really, for the last spot, or maybe even if we want to look at removing some of the other ones. The question should be if we start a team, here are the options. Who would you pick?
And it's a tough. I'm having a hard time with the last.
Can I give you some names that LeBron stopped from winning championships, Luis?
Oh, please do.
You ready?
Yeah, let's see. Let's hear it.
Okay. So we got Derrick Rose. You guys don't forgot about Derrick Rose.
He stopped himself, but okay, we'll give it to him.
MVP.
But yeah, I don't want to. Yeah.
Had a team. Paul George is with the Pacers. Got knocked out. DeMar DeRozan, Toronto, knocked them out. Jimmy Butler, never won anything. There's 4 right there.
Yeah. Out of those 4, when it's all said and done, how many do you think will be Hall of Famers from those 4 guys? Like first ballot Hall of Famers.
Paul George.
And I know they're still playing.
Yeah, Paul George and Jimmy Butler will be Hall of Famers.
You think Paul George is a Hall of Famer?
I think he's gonna put up decent numbers. That he's gonna be in the 20-something points, blah blah blah. That he's gonna make the Hall of Fame. And Jimmy Butler, I mean, he's got to the finals a few times, carried a few teams. I think he's gonna get in out of respect. One guy, this isn't.
He also denied a 73-win regular season win.
Yeah, but they won it in a different time.
Yeah, because they added Durant and stuff like that.
What about Rudy Gay? Did you think about that guy? So
yeah, he's not my.
I mean, I wouldn't put him in the talent pool with Chris Webber and McGrady and CP3, but Rudy Gay was a really nice, solid player that never won. Dikembe Mutombo.
No.
He's. I thought about that, but he can't be ahead of those other guys.
So our final spot then is it between CP3, Tracy McGrady, Chris Webber, and Carmelo Anthony, right? It's those 4. I think the other guy we mentioned.
Steve Nash.
You want to add Steve Nash in there?
Yeah.
No James Harden.
No James Harden. No Russell Westbrook.
No Damian Lillard. No Russell Westbrook.
Dame. Yeah.
Okay, so between those got CP3, McGrady, Weber, Carmelo, and Steve Nash. Steve Nash is the only one to have won MVPs.
MVPs. None of those guys. Who has gone to the finals? I'm trying to think.
CP3,
He lost, right? Who was it with
the Suns.
Phoenix? With Phoenix, yeah. And Carmelo never made it to the finals, I don't think, right?
Never.
McGrady tampoco.
No.
Or I think he did, but with the Spurs. I keep thinking that he went to the finals with the Spurs. Who the hell won it in 2013? But that was his last year.
Yeah,
Was it Miami?
Yeah.
Fucking.
There's another one, but I was putting two more old school heads when I was thinking about George Gervin. But what's it?
And Carmelo was in the playoffs, right? Like a lot with Denver, and I think even with the Knicks, he made it into the playoffs. I don't know what's the furthest he went. Maybe the Western Finals, maybe. 1 year with Denver.
Maybe.
Was that the year that he had Iverson? Fuck, man, it's pissing me off. I don't know.
So out of those five, if you were starting a team, right? So let's just make it that the question. Out of those five, who would you take?
Was it Nash?
Man, then we had Grant Hill and McGrady.
Yeah, Nash, CP3, McGrady, Chris Webber, and Carmelo Anthony.
And those are all.
I'm not much. I'd say McGrady, Weber, Hill. And then I already said McGrady better than Weber. Is Hill better than McGrady? Man, Hill was a fucking badass player too, man.
And he was like.
It was awesome. If he didn't get hurt, yeah, he was fucking awesome.
Yeah. Same thing with McGrady.
I said McGrady.
Yeah, out of those five, I would pick McGrady to start a team.
Yay.
We still thinking
Or rebounder, yeah. I'm having a hard time with Carmelo Anthony, man. He's no bum, you know. Like I was just talking shit about him because he chased a paycheck, you know. But he was fucking good, like. And I hear what you're saying, Sal. Like he was just scoring, but he was a rebounder. He was a decent defender, not like a stopper, but he was, he definitely like a disruptor. Like he would play physical.
Who he's on?
So anyway, Carmelo, man, I gotta go.
Oh, Carmelo?
Fuck, man. And Carmelo's been. I think off the top of my head, he's been pretty durable too, man. And I know we're putting McGrady in there, but that's like his shortcomings did come from injury too, just like Grant Hill. I think I would go with Carmelo.
Damn it.
Just because, like, at the end of the day, like, he was just durable, and I would put him ahead of Chris. Wow, fuck, man. I really wanted Chris Webber in there. But I don't think I would. Fuck, I don't think if we're starting a team, I don't think I would pick Chris Webber before Carmelo. So anyway, I think I will go with. My vote would be for Carmelo.
Is there anybody that you would take out to put in, like Chris Webber or McGrady?
Oh, wait a minute. Did we have Stockton in there? We kept Stockton in there?
We have Stockton in there, yeah.
We have Stockton in
That guy could be in there. That guy could get removed. What do you want now? You want Webber or Stockton?
Stockton's never going to be on any list, man. The guy, he just. Oh man. Okay, so what do you think, Adan? Who's your last pick?
So
you said McGrady. You said McGrady, right?
Yeah, from those options, I would pick McGrady. Yeah.
And then you said McGrady too, right, Sal?
Yes, goes by. That guy was a fucking hell of a player, man. You could put Joel Embiid in there too, no? Pretty soon.
Mm-hmm. Right.
What do you think, Luis? You sticking with Carmelo? I mean, we'll just. I think.
Damn, man. Yeah, that he did. This is crazy. I'm looking at what he did in the playoffs when he was with Orlando. He was scoring over 30 points per game.
Uh-huh.
That was because Grant Hill got hurt, right? They both went there and signed McGrady and Grant Hill. Grant Hill got hurt, I think, right away. And McGrady was just kept going, and McGrady didn't get hurt until later, right? Until he was with until he went to Houston. But when he was with Orlando,
yeah, he was.
Yeah. All right. I'll put, just for time's sake, too. I think, I'll go with. I guess, we'll bump Carmelo, put McGrady in there.
Keep George Gervin.
It's hard. It's hard to take him off, man. That guy.
We're good.
But Carmelo's gonna be a Hall of Famer too. You know.
Carmelo is gonna be a Hall of Famer. Yep.
And I think Carmelo's.
It's possible that Derrick Rose, a slight chance. He was the youngest rookie. He's the youngest MVP ever.
Sorry, I don't think it's.
Can I give you guys my only stat of the night?
The only one? Oh man.
Well, I mean, if things come up, but this is the only one that I want to make sure that gets out to the universe. And everybody knows this. Did you know if LeBron James shot the ball as many times, like attempts, each season, as many times as the player that led the league in scoring, LeBron James would have led that season in scoring. If he shot the ball as many times as the player that led the league in scoring, he would have led the league in scoring based on his field goal percentage.
Okay.
Not bad, huh?
Oh, not bad. Putting team first, taking the step back, facilitating. Nothing about stats. That's pretty impressive.
And still number one in points.
Can I do one stat that's out earlier? Or no, I'll forward to you to the next time.
It's pretty good. It's a pretty good stat, Adon. All right. Well, anyway, just to recap. So I guess just in the segment, what we came up with, at least the top 10 players in there. We started off with, like Charles Barkley, Karl Malone, John Stockton, Reggie Miller, Patrick Ewing. We went with Iverson, Dominique, right? We agreed with George Irvin, right? Who's the other guy that I'm missing, Sal? The guy that you said?
Elgin Baylor.
Elgin Baylor. And then we wrapped it up with Tracy McGrady to round it off our top 10 all-time greatest players that have never won a championship.
Yeah. Let us know what you think.
Feel pretty good. Yeah, let us know. Let us know if you guys disagree, if you would put some other player ahead of them. I think that's a pretty good list, boys.
So,
and Adon, what would you say? How are we on time? I know that usually that our segment kind of like takes up the whole.
Yeah, I think we ran up an hour 15 minutes.
Okay, gotcha. So we already went over. So I was gonna not a lot of time. So real quick, then I'll probably do the faster segment. Kind of put you guys in the spot. Keep it NBA related, so that if next week we go away from the NBA, we at least got a chance to touch on this. With the NBA season starting, I'll read you just like the top 5 odds. I just was curious who you guys would pick today. Barring injury, barring trades, anything could happen. But just the teams, the roster stayed the way they are right now and health-wise. Who would you? I'm not gonna say this. Who do you think is gonna win? Who would you be willing to wager money on, given the odds? So I'll just read. How many teams do you guys want me to give you? Just the top 5, top 7, or what?
Yeah, 7. Let's
So right now, Now this is according. It might not be the most updated, so don't quote me on it, Sal. But it's just the first one that popped up. It has the Celtics, the 2023-24 NBA championship odds. It has the Celtics as the favorite at plus 380. Okay. And then after that, we got the Bucks at plus 400. So right behind Boston. Then we got the Nuggets, the last year's champs, at plus 450. Phoenix at plus 550. And then it jumps up from there. At number 5, it's the Warriors at plus 900. And all the way at the bottom of number 6, the Lakers at plus 1100. And to round it off, Embiid and the 76ers. And I don't know if that includes them thinking that Harden's still going to be part of that team or not. I'm a little confused. Double of what the Lakers are plus 1100. Fucking the 76ers are plus 2500. And then the very last one that I hear a lot of people kind of liking is the Mavericks at plus 2500 at number 8. So Boston, Milwaukee, Denver, Phoenix, Golden State, Lakers, 76ers, and Mavericks. I'll give you 2 more, sorry. And then it rounds off with the Clippers and the Heat after that. So those are the top 10 in terms of odds. The Heat are number 10 at plus 2,800. So just, not who do you think is going to win the championship, given the odds the way that they open today. Who would you throw a nickel at there for a bet? Because quick shout out to Adon. Can't remember exactly when you did it, but at one point in the season, they were definitely not the favorite. But you looked at the odds and you're like, hey, you know what? I'm gonna throw some cash here to Denver, and then they ended up I didn't think they were gonna go all the way at that point, So something said. So this is beginning of season. Why don't we start with you, Sal? And if you want the numbers again, I could give them to you. But that's kind of the top.
It's tough. I don't know if the Celtics are the favorite. I don't agree with that. I think Drew helps him, but I don't think they like the front court now, right? That's Robert. Who's the front court?
Oh, there you go. What's that?
Who's the front court now? Boston's front court.
I think they got Porzingis, and then they got Jaylen Brown, and what's his name, Tatum, and I forgot what point guard they have right now.
Drew Holiday, right? Point guard is
Drew. Oh yeah. Shit.
It doesn't say Drew Holiday. That's going to help them out tremendously, and especially facilitating the ball out of fucking Browns and Tatum's hand, playing some defense. But I don't think they got the front corner. I think Robert Williams is going to hurt him a little bit. I mean, I prefer Drew over Robert, but I know we said barring any injuries, but are you kind of count Porzingis really to be there long term? Healthy. I mean, if anything, I think it's hard because I haven't seen it. I don't know how it's going to work out. I would think the Bucks would be a better bet. But I don't know. Maybe I had to throw. Like you said, throw a nickel at him. Throw it. Man, give me the top 6 again, real quick.
Yeah. So it's Boston
Mm-hmm.
at plus 380. Then it's Milwaukee plus 400. Denver plus 450. Phoenix is at plus 550. And then Golden State is plus 900. And then it's your boys, the Lakers, plus 1100.
See, man, I think the Lakers.
Those are the top 6.
I'm rooting for the Lakers, for LeBron, but I don't know what's gonna happen with AD, man. Again, and I honestly, if you said barring any injuries, like you said,
like
healthy, Lakers. If you got a healthy LeBron and Davis and both players, and they're there, and you could count on them, Lakers.
All right.
Yeah.
What about you, Adon?
I was thinking the exact same thing. Given the odds and all things being equal, they're all healthy. I'll take the Lakers. I'm not. I think losing Robert Williams the third for the Celtics is gonna impact them a lot on defense. I think the Suns is gonna take them this season to figure out each other. The Nuggets, they did lose some of the scrappy
The role players
guys,
that they had.
but they're gonna be solid. The Nuggets are gonna be solid. I don't understand why the Warriors are that high. I know that they just won it like 2 years ago. The Bucks make sense. I think the Bucks should be the favorite, just given that they have the core and they added a better point guard to the same core. But given the odds of the Lakers at 6, I would bet on the Lakers. What would you do, Luis?
So it's interesting.
So I bet on the Lakers. I know you can.
I can't. I just can't. I can't. They just have an easier road to the finals. You know what I mean? With all the disheveling that's happening in the West. Like my pick is Milwaukee. It's the smart money. With Dame and Giannis teaming up. Are you kidding me? But I'm terrified of the Celtics. I'm not worried about Philadelphia because I don't know what the hell's going on over there. Besides Embiid and Harden, but I think Milwaukee is gonna have their hands full, barring injury and trades and all that with Boston, man. So I can see that series going either way.
You're not afraid of the Heat? I know they're all the way down to like number 10 on the odds.
Yeah, they're number 10.
They seem to give the Bucks a really hard time all the time.
Yeah. So come playoff time, right? It all changes. But man, so the Heat were in the playoffs in the finals last year, right? Was it the year before too? Was it back to back or no?
No, 2020.
Oh shit! So even
3 years.
Not even no. Yeah, no. I think I would stick with Milwaukee. Because they're not the favorite. I think they should be. So it's not going to be a big payout, right, Sal? I don't know how much I'll make. I throw in a couple bucks in there. I don't know how much the payout will be for it, but
so
that's who I would go with.
If you throw 1,000, you'll win 400, right?
Plus 400.
You get 4,000. So I look at it plus 400. So yeah, if you put 1,000, you get 4,000. So you make a $3,000 profit.
Maybe like $100.
If it's minus 400, if they were favorites, they are favorite, but it's still like plus money. So
I got
it's still plus because it's so early in the season, right?
1,000, you put so you put $100, you get 400, and if it was minus 400, then if you put the 400, you get your $100, profit, whatever.
So I don't think I'll go. I don't want to go crazy here. I'm not a high stakes better, so but I'm thinking $50 maybe. I don't want $50 maybe. That'll make me $200 maybe, right, or somewhere around there.
How about this? I looked at the stats. I felt bad to keep asking you, but you said the
were my odds different?
No, the 10th was because we said we're talking about Heat plus 3,000. Dallas is 25.
Oh.
But what about in between right there? You got Memphis Grizzlies at plus 2,500. They might want to fucking the last and then make some young, healthy. I mean, if Ja Morant gets his shit together and they fucking, have a nice seed at plus 2,500, they said because they're just out of the top 10 because they're the same odds at Dallas, but whatever. I don't know if that's a good one. And then the other one, I don't know the Thunder. I don't know. I mean, maybe I just forgot how made it bad, but the Thunder plus 8,000. You think they might make some? Right? Not that good, no. Right?
They're too young though.
Who?
Oklahoma.
Oklahoma. Oh, yeah.
They had an exciting team, kind of like how the Kings were, last year. It's kind of like a nice young and up and coming team, but I don't think they would get I don't know if the Thunder would get. I don't think they'd be able to get past the Lakers or Phoenix or Denver.
Drew Holiday, that's gonna be a nice little matchup.
Which one?
Drew Holiday and Dame.
Oh yeah, I hope that's the Eastern Conference Finals. That would be.
I think Drew will give it fits, and I think Drew will get more mad because man, I left. I got traded because of you. I'm sure he's gonna fucking like just get stuck on them glue. Yeah.
Drew Holiday is a good. All right, so good. So we got 2 Lakers, and then one for Milwaukee. So we'll see. We'll see at the end of the year. Sal, I know we're running out of time here, so I'm not gonna get to some of the other things. But do you have anything? Well, we kind of went over some betting, but is there anything you've been keeping your eye on for the weekend, or anything that's coming up? Football, non-football.
No, I did. I know I screwed up. I mean, but there were some fucking bad beats last week. I had a nice little Bookie little parlay going on this week. With which one did I have? I had Seahawks with the Cardinals. And comment and tell me which ones I got wrong last one. I think there was 2. I had to pick the 49ers and McCaffrey and fucking Debo, and now they lost. I'm pretty sure I lost that one, and I lost and I picked the Eagles, right?
Yep, you lost that one too.
Did I lose any more in the one? Or?
You had Niners, Bears, Eagles, Bills, and Dolphins.
Oh, fucking Bears too. No, Dolphins won though.
Dolphins did.
Dolphins won.
But then it's the same thing. I got injured. Justin Fields after the game, he fucking dislocated thumb. The other guy came in through 2 interceptions. What was the score? They lost by a touchdown by the score, right?
Who, the Bears?
Yeah, the Vikings was scoring.
I don't remember. It was more than a score though. And then I think Fields is out this weekend, right?
Yeah, so
Yeah, he's out.
So barring any injuries, like I said, the 3-pick parlay I had. Where the fuck did it go right now? I had there it is. Seahawks straight up over. And you know what? I might take the spread now. Should I dab on the spread? So okay, right now I have Seahawks over Cardinals, Bills over Patriots, and then I got Dolphins beating the Eagles at Philadelphia. So that's a plus 237 as of right now. I might change them, you know what happens. My picks come in Sunday morning late, 5 minutes before game per usual.
Perfect. No, that's awesome, man.
But I was thinking about the Seahawks minus 7.5, taking that instead. But I'll let you guys know. But that's what I have right now. But I was mention that I know because we're wrapping up, and I know you got a long day tomorrow. At least I know you're passionate about boxing.
Yeah.
And, you've been trying to sell us and kind of hyping up the schedule for this 2000 year. But I don't know if you heard earlier today that now Showtime is moving away from boxing.
Yeah.
No, how do you feel about that? I mean,
you heard about that?
Yeah, I feel terrible because boxing is it's I mean, you've been saying it for a long time, Sal. It's like a dying sport, and the networks, have been ditching it. I know that I think they're trying to do a deal with like fucking, I don't know who, like the Zone, or I don't know if it's Peacock or Amazon Prime or whatever the hell, but yeah, it's a mess. It's sad, man. They're like the money's not in there. I don't even want to go get off a rant because I wanted to finish up with the Pixadon that I hope we could finish up with that. But real quick, like it's in trouble. Like you can't ignore it. Like I love boxing. I'll always watch it, but they need to change something. What they're doing is like they're alienating their fans because I saw that piece of shit card that they put together that with the YouTubers, what's their name, whoever the guy, I'm blanking on his name, Jake Paul or Logan Paul, and all that stupid card. I think in pay-per-view supposedly, I think this is bullshit, but supposedly they're reporting that they sold over like 1.3 million pay-per-view buys, which is, I don't know who's buying that. Like, I think it's bullshit, but maybe people are really into it. I know it's not really real boxing in terms of like they're not boxers, right? They're YouTubers, and that's where they get their fame. So that I think a lot of people are tuning in for, I think Mayweather started that with what's his face, with Conor McGregor, and then they're just copying that model. But to put it in perspective, think Crawford and Spence, who was like years in the making, and it was like a boxing fans' dream. I think they sold like 600,000 pay-per-views, you know. And I know that Tank and Ryan did like a million something, you know. But again, you know, like I think a lot of people would put Ryan more as a YouTuber, and you know, like he gets a lot of fandom from that, not from YouTube, from like Instagram and stuff. But it's crazy, man. They're in danger, you know, when like sideshows are doing better numbers, like they're just more popular in terms of like what people are interested in watching. So I hope that I think that could change with just doing kind of like what the UFC does, you know, and just making sure that the best fights the best, you know, and there's just too many politics in boxing. So I'm nervous, man. I just want, you know, still been an awesome year though. Haney versus Regis, December 9th. Over by you, Adon. Go check it out. Go check it out. Still an amazing year, but it's falling apart, man. The card's on fire. You know what I mean? The whole, it's a mess.
Yeah, the fucking all that YouTube bullshit, social media has definitely fucked it up.
Nah,
I mean, they were fucking up to begin with. That's just fucking, like I said,
it's a joke.
just yeah, it is. It's fucking. It's not dead, but it's really supposed to be on life support, and then fucking, you know.
Yeah, and look what Tyson Fury is doing. You know, I guess the world heavyweight champion. You know, the active world. You know, and he's gonna fight this MMA guy. You know, who's gigantic and huge, and I know he's respected in the MMA world, but not a boxer. You know, it's all it's just a sideshow. I mean, people are gonna tune in, and it's more like a novelty act, and they're more interested in that than seeing, you know, real boxing, which sucks. But that's boxing's own fault. You know, that's the greedy ass promoters.
Yeah,
that's, you know, they did it to themselves. So hopefully it could get undone. But what do you, not to put you on the spot, Adon, do you have where we're at for the pick?
I
Terrified to look at this.
It's not good.
Last week was bullshit, man.
Not good. Here's last week.
But head.
Okay.
Week 6.
Actually better than I thought.
Yeah,
Eagles, you know, Eagles screwed us over. 49ers screwed us over. It could have been a really nice week if some of the heavy favorites had come through.
Right.
Total, you guys are still below your targets. Here's through week 6. I'm fucking terrible. I put your goals down here, amigos.
Yeah.
That's what you guys need to be fucking getting to.
See, I just looked it up. Fucking, despite Fields getting hurt, dislocating thumb in his throwing hand, and the backup going in and throwing 2 picks, the Bears lost 19-13. It was a 6-point game.
So, there was no Jefferson, right? The Vikings, they didn't have Jefferson. He was hurt.
Yeah.
Prediction. Just before we end.
They had the better quarterback.
Curry, Stephen Curry, Kevin Durant, LeBron James, they'll enter the Hall of Fame in the same year.
Oh, wow. So is that the best class ever? What was the best class ever before?
Kevin Durant.
I don't remember. I think Jordan's class was pretty good. Didn't Tim Duncan and Kevin Garnett and some other ones go in together as well? But if, you know, these guys are in their, Curry and KD are like 35. They're not going to play into their 40s like LeBron. So that, let's say they play 2 or 3 more years, it's a possibility that they retire at the same time and go into the Hall of Fame together. You already know what I think. LeBron should already be in the Hall of Fame.
Put him in there.
Just put him in there.
As a coach, GM, player. But it was Jordan Robinson was my player in Stockton. There you go. That's a list right there for you.
Who?
So
in 2009, it was Jordan, Stockton, and David Robinson. That's a hell of a class. And then Stockton, he finally made a list for you.
That's a loaded class, man. If it's like LeBron, KD, Stephen Curry, that's crazy.
The other one was Tim Duncan, Kevin Garnett, and the rapist Kobe Bryant.
Who? Duncan, Garnett, and Kobe, right?
Yeah, and then you guys.
That's pretty good.
Oscar
pretty good.
Robertson,
You know,
Jerry
maybe
West, and Jerry
CP3, LeBron, Curry, KD, CP3.
I don't know what this made it, but
Pretty.
how about this one? 2010 was Karl Malone, the rapist, Pippen, Dennis Johnson, and the 92 Dream Team made the Hall of Fame.
The whole team. There you go. How can you beat that shit?
What other one? I think
Um,
that's the Jordan one, David and Stockton right now. Yeah, Shaq, AI and Yao Ming in one class.
It seems
That's
like
pretty
all of
good.
them have like two really good ones, and one is just like
right. That's kind of like,
it's pretty good. Yeah.
So to wrap up, fellas, and not to end on a sour, petty note, I just want to have one last question for you guys.
This time, pen.
So just because you guys brought up LeBron James and you had that awesome stat,
I didn't bring it up. I didn't say
how do you call
anything
it?
about him.
We all know that this guy, I don't know what season he's entering, season 20 something, 21. 21 is pretty good. And nobody's undefeated against Father Time. So what do you guys think? Think this is it? I mean, this will be the
This,
season.
like-
Because it always happens like out of nowhere, we're like talking about, and then out of nowhere, it just happens right in front of our eyes, and the player deteriorates, either gets hurt. Happened to Kobe. Happens to everybody. They're like Superman, right? This Man of Steel. So does LeBron James finally succumb to Father Time? Do you guys say yes or no in season 21?
Does your hate have no bounds?
What? I'm just
That's
asking
a flag, that's flag right there. This guy wants to jinx LeBron. No, it's not like it's flag in the field.
Unnecessary roughness.
Yeah.
Luis.
No, stop, man. It's over. Let's go.
Awesome downs. This is fourth and goat for you, but I don't think so, but I could be wrong. I don't want to jinx the guy. He didn't show signs last year. Like he was still pretty good for his age. You know what I'm saying? He wasn't fucking Miami Heat LeBron James. But let's see what only time will tell. They said it's
Fair enough.
Fucking guy, what a jinx. What a jerk.
It's gonna get him. He's only playing like 40-something, 50-something games the last couple of seasons. It's probably gonna keep on happening. The little tweaks and stuff are gonna take longer to recover. So we just gotta enjoy every minute that we have with LeBron in the court.
Now I gotta do an AP stat of the night to combat your jinx. Did you know that LeBron is the only player to lead every team that he's played for in points per game? He's a league leader. He's the team's leader in the Cavs league leader, the Miami, and the Lakers.
God damn, that's a good one.
He had more than Dwayne Wade that first season.
But I know
Points
like
per game
average,
like
like
average.
So the Heat average.
Okay. No, I was just asking. All right. But isn't it crazy though? Now that LeBron's older, and like realistically, like he really didn't show like signs last year. Like, there's no reason besides if something happens this year that he should just play his regular minutes and whatever. But now would be the time that there would be like load management on him. You know what I mean? Just the organization. And didn't the NBA? Did they implement that already, or were thinking about implementing, like where they're gonna fine teams, or I forget what it's gonna be. There's gonna be a penalty now if you don't play your all-star, or I don't know if they were just talking about that. So maybe we could touch base on that next.
From awards. If you don't play X amount of games, you're not eligible to win like MVPs and stuff like that.
It's actually a little bit of all of that. So you gotta play certain games in order to qualify for awards.
Mm-hmm.
But also, depending on how many years you played in the NBA, you are actually excused. You're actually excused for missing games. So LeBron James, because he's in his 21st season, he could load manage. I think what they're saying though is players that qualified for load management should only miss home games. They shouldn't miss away games. I think it's something like that. It's like a combination.
Yeah. Interesting.
That kind of impressed me because you know how the whole thing with LeBron, he comes to Lakers, like you could consider, like you said, we're talking about late in his career, it might be over any day now, and he's leading like the most career points per game at 27.4, and you think about all the Lakers greats in the past, and this guy is coming in and is, like I said, we're talking about at the end of his career, and he has the most fucking career.
You know what's crazy? Elgin Baylor overall averages more points per game than LeBron, like by 0.2 or something. But LeBron has averaged more points per game this last 4 years than he had in his previous years. Like he's averaged more in years 16 through 20 than years 1 through 16. That's why he averages more than Elgin Baylor, because he's averaging more. She's averaging like 28 something points as a Laker.
Dang, I think we needed that to combat his fucking jinx. So
Knocking on wood, fucking throwing flags.
That's all I got, guys. Unless you got anything else, Sal, you want to sign us off, man?
I think that's it, man. Upon further review, the rule in the field stands. Another good episode. I think we'll see you guys next week. Same bad time, same bad channel. Upon further review, the ruling on the field stands. This is the greatest sports podcast, First and Goat.